Yeah, this is the NWSL. This is why we play in this league. It's chaos, but I actually thought we had a really good performance. Created some dangerous opportunities that in this league you got to put away if you want to really slam the door shut on teams. But yeah, I thought there were bouts of play that were really good from us. Defensively, we were solid. Defensive set pieces, we were really solid, and it's just really frustrating to walk away with only a point when I thought for the majority of the game we were on top.
Michael, go ahead with your question.
Um, so obviously tough draw being leading so late into the match. How do you kind of take the positives out of this? Because really, a point on the road is good. How do you take the positives of this and not let it drag you down? Especially having a similar ending in Orlando. How do you take these learnings and turn them into positives?
Yeah, it's a bit of salt in the wound after last week when I think 2 weeks in a row now we were in a position to take 3 points from two really important games. So if you would have gone back and asked me at the beginning of the season if I would have been happy taking a point away at Orlando and Washington, I probably would have said yes. But I think it says a lot about our team that we are disappointed with only walking away with one. I think we've put ourselves in a position in this league where teams see us as a really big threat and that we're a really difficult team to beat. So I'm proud of that fact, but I'm really disappointed to walk away with only a point. We all know how close the standings are, but we have to have a short memory because it doesn't get any easier next weekend for us.
How was the? I'm sure everybody on the team was disappointed at the end, but was it disappointed or heartbroken? After a match like that, just trying to check the vibe of the team. After a kind of a tough end to a match.
All you have to do is see the body language after we got scored on that second goal. I think everyone's just exhausted, really gave everything in the extra time to hold on to the lead. And I do think it's more heartbreak than just disappointment because it was so shocking right at the end of the game, one of the last plays. So again, I think we can hold on to the positive that this is disappointing for us when a lot of teams would be satisfied coming here in a difficult place to play against a very talented team and walk away with 1 point.
I think when you take a step back, you'll take a look at the last couple matches and say, you hung toe to toe and probably should have come away with better results than you did against two of the top teams in the league. How do you kind of spin that positively and move on to San Diego and then, on paper, the schedule gets a little bit easier?
We flipped the script of how people and teams in this league see us. I don't see this as upset behavior. This is what we expect from our team. We've put together performances across the season that, for long stretches of games, we're better than the teams at the top of the table. And I think that says a lot about what we did from the beginning of preseason and the identity that we've stuck to. And I've been around long enough to know that if we continue to do the things that we will, then things will start to fall in our favor. But we can take what we did well on the ball, our defensive presence, our grit and determination on set pieces, both on with the ball and without, into San Diego because another difficult place to play against a really talented team. So I said it at the beginning, this league is chaotic and you never really know what's going to happen, but there's no better league to play in when any team can show up on any given day and get a result.
Last one for me. Both of the Spirit goals came from moments where maybe just the play wasn't quick enough. Is that something you talk about as a group about kind of not getting caught, in possession in your own half and, kind of letting things, get to the point because of, they came from, not necessarily giveaways, but, spots on the pitch where you just need to be a little bit sharper.
Yeah, this moment I can't even remember the first goal, but the second goal comes from a moment where the game's really stretched and we get caught with the ball in the middle of the field on on another day we poke the ball away and the ball's cleared and the game ends 2-1. Sometimes that's just the game, but what I'm really proud of our team for is that we are not getting broken down significantly in games. Teams aren't spending large chunks of games in our final third, in our half, bopping around the ball. Teams are getting opportunities because we're giving them opportunities when we give the ball away, when we don't secure the ball in transition. And so that's a position I'd much rather be in than the latter. And I'm really proud of that fact because that's something that's definitely fixable and that we'll go back and look at and just say, tweak a couple of things and clean some things up. But on the flip side of that, it's also frustrating that sometimes we cause our own chaos.
Rui, any questions?
Sure. Yeah.
Hi.
For your time.
Of course.
That word chaos. I know it's part of this league. I know it's something that seemingly is part of a lot of racing games. How much do you feel that's even like part of the team's identity, or like at least being able to play in or through the chaos that this league can bring?
Yeah, I think that what our identity is we cause teams a lot of problems with our pressure, and we're really good at it, and we make it really difficult for teams to play out, especially from the back. We're aggressive. We want to win the ball back. But on the flip side of that, there has to be composure when we do win the ball back. And I thought at times it was really good tonight. And at other times, there was maybe moments where we had more time on the ball than we thought. And you have to give a team like Washington credit when they put the pressure on. They've got some really pacey players that can make you feel uncomfortable. So it's something that we pride ourselves on being really good at defensively, is causing that chaos for other teams. But like I said, to be able to find that composure and keep the ball and create our own opportunities within that same identity is what's really important.
And just following up on that, was there like a single moment in either direction, whether it was like timing it particularly well or not timing it particularly well in today's match?
I think the times where maybe we hesitate to put pressure on is when we give teams just a little bit too much space. I thought Monday did a really good job up top holding onto the ball and letting her team come and join, and that's where their best opportunities came from, particularly in the first half. So we have to put really good pressure on the ball to stop those balls coming into talented players like that. So there's, you look at every game, there's no perfect performance. We could have walked away with 3 points and there's still things to look at. So we'll dissect it. We do a really good job of that week in and week out. And what I'm really proud of the team for this season, particularly, is just having, a short mind. You have to get over things quickly. We have not a lot of time to prepare for a good San Diego team and traveling across the country. So we have to have a short memory.
And then it was pretty noticeable in the crowd tonight, just the reaction to some of the calls that were being made, and people were upset with the officials. But I wonder, like the flip side of that, even being able to go into a place like this and like get the calls and find the opportunities to sort of like frustrate the other team, like how much of a skill is that, and how much did you feel like that was, if it is a skill on display for you guys tonight?
This is a really fun place to play. They create a really great atmosphere to come into. The more places in the league that can feel like this, I think it's better for everyone. When it comes to officiating, you have to, leave that up to the referees. If players decide to let that get in their head or the fans start to get rowdy, that's where you have to find your composure as a player, because it happens to both teams. It happens on both sides. And I thought we controlled those moments really well tonight. We controlled our emotions really well. And I've been on both sides of that, and on both sides, you really just have to be composed, move on, get set for the next play, because the worst thing you can do is let that affect your mindset, and it has a bigger impact than it should.